Let's see what we've got in here. Nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, I gutted this out pretty much when the car arrived. It was shabby and a bit, damp. I wasn't fond of the floor mount either. Let's switch it out. It's Tings on Wheels, boy. Now, in a world where everything is at your fingertips, I find myself hankering after the vintage stuff. Installs like this are few and far between. It's like everything is dulled down, no life. But there's still hope. Check it. I'm on a mission to get the old school vibe. More life. Like this Dolphin set. Top tech way back. Don't worry, I'm bringing sexy back. I wasn't too shy with it myself, cramming 212s into a Mark 1 cabbie. And even on my Corrado, slapping a 15-inch Alpine in there. I don't need no boot. You see, my dad got me into this. He recreated these speakers out of better wood, all by hand. I gotta live up to this precise work. Even my mum used to make clothes, so I'm creative.
Your mother warns it's a sound system banger.
To the drawing board. I got the vision in my head, but I need it on paper before I forget. I did a similar thing on the TT, but not as extreme. You can see that by clicking top right. No fiberglass this time, just good old-fashioned wood, and contrasting colours with a simple design. I even dropped my sketch into ChatGPT. It was close to the vision. But back to reality. Let's make a bit more space. That smelly old parcel shelf can do one. Now it's time to take some rough measurements. Let's see what we're working with. Now with them noted, I got the data sheet for the sub, but it only listed a box volume for a sealed box. Nah, we want that deep bass, so I'll dig around for more info. And there we have it. I'll base my box around that. I won't go into it too much, as I explain it more in the TT video, but there's various sites that allow you to design a box off the parameters from your data sheet. Super handy. Some more precise measurements, and I found this handy void in the shelf supports. I can use that to my advantage. With those measurements transferred to wood, I can get to cutting. Yeah. Corner needs attention, and at this end, I intend on tucking into the shelf support. Those lines are where the moulding has parts bridged across. Take a look. Do you see it? I'm gonna mark these onto the wood. Yeah, ready for the chop chop. Now with that done, check it. In it goes. Same on the opposite. Now let's get a temporary floor cut. In that goes. Yeah, snug. And using a cardboard template I made, I transferred it to wood to create the sub box. Pre-drilled for screws and glue. And this miter bond helped for the first piece. Blob it on and spray activator on the other surface. Quite a bit, because this is MDF. Porous. And it'll dry instantly when they meet. Now I can screw it up and repeat this for every side. I chose not to brace the box as it's only a single 12 that isn't moving tons of air. Let's tidy up the edges. Test fit. Yeah, bosh. Let's measure up the fascia. I'm doing this as I hate seeing fixings, so we'll hide them. More of the same. Cutting, drilling, screwing. Yep, that slides in all right. So now it's time to find the center. I want this to be aesthetically pleasing. So I measure the width of the speaker that I want visible, and then using my ghetto compass, I transfer it to the fascia. Pen in the groove so I can see what I'm cutting. Choppy. Now I'm gonna center the sub box so I can mark up the mounting hole perfectly. Sub on the floor, sub in the box. Oof. I told you, I don't miss.
Right, so I want to follow that detail around onto there, same at the top, and then put a window for the amp. Same on both sides. Yeah. You'll also notice I've got these on. You'll find out about those shortly.
Compact little amps, but powerful. I want to see a bit of them on display, but not all of it. More measuring. You love it. How much wood can a wood chop if a wood chop wood? Huh. Quick fix. Now an amp either side is going to go in these holes, but they got to have something a little extra. 6mm MDF looking like egg soldiers out here. Stick them on. Using that handy mitre bond again.
So that's how the amp's gonna sit. Recess behind that. But I'm gonna raise it up a little bit so there's a gap and you will see.
You'll see all right. Quick mount up, no long ting.
Right, I took the amp back off because now it's time to put the fun stuff in. LED lights, boy. 90s style. I hope these are the ones that you can cut. 12 volt, really thin. They'll fit in that channel perfectly. It's like I almost planned it. Bruv. Now it makes sense why I made that little channel, because obviously the cable's got to pass out through there. Can be cut following the cut lines, yeah? If this don't work, Amazon, I want my money back. When I did the glue, I made sure it went onto the edge of this MDF, because MDF is porous. It doesn't like stickers stuck on it, don't really take. So that's why I've done that, to kind of seal it off a bit, and then I'll blob some super glue around it just to make it nice, because this has a double-sided tape on it.
Let's get that on. Nice bit of pressure, but not too much. This shouldn't go anywhere, man. Sparks on wheels? Actually, scratch that. I used a female jack adapter here for a quick disconnect if needed. You gotta think ahead if it needs to come out.
Right, I got the amp back in, hooked up to a temporary 12 volt power supply. Let's see what it looks like. Choose. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect effect. Don't watch the dust on the amp. That's, you know, still doing bits. But I'm gonna say that's a cheeky little win.
This 90-degree edge cannot run. The fabric I put on would be difficult to stretch round, especially as it's a square. I haven't got a router, so I got to improvise. Belt sander it is. Finished with a palm sander. You couldn't even tell. Added that little extra to fill in a space in the boot. The wood was only a certain width, so it was unavoidable. Another test fit. Ah, it's coming together, innit? Look! Let's cover it up. I masked off where I didn't want to glue. Sellotape worked well here, as it's very low tack on this wood. And this stuff, it's a dog's. Once that's set, it ain't moving. I get why they use it on camper conversions. Good to know. It's a contact adhesive, so it needs to go on the foam I want to add to. Once it's touch dry, marry the surfaces and see it conform to those curves. Yeah, that's spot on. I'm gonna cut the foam away where it was masked. Sharp blade, clean cut. Be careful. The amp window, a bit more tricky, but not too taxing. Rinse and repeat. this time on the vinyl. Premium finish or what? Yeah, you know me.
Right, so got to cut out. Can't go too close to the corner because then it will leave a raw edge.
More of that miracle glue. And then some heat, so the vinyl's a bit more pliable. Push it into place, and these staples would act as a failsafe. Oi, oi, Savoy! The fascia has the same treatment. No foam on this, as there's a channel for the LEDs that would get blocked. Drill battery on its last legs. I'll fill and flatten any screw holes. And more glue, this time for a contrasting cream vinyl. I tried to match it to the seats, but it's miles off. No drama though, it'll all come good. Stretching around that circular part was proper difficult, and that's why there's a relief cut, so it can be stretched without creasing. That's why the original design has a triangular piece here to sort of style it out. It's all planned. You kind of get a feel for it. I guess wrapping cars is similar. I've never tried. Don't worry, nothing broke there, I think.
So we got these two amps that were in the car for the best part of 13 years. We need to see if they still got the minerals. We're going to pop them open. Actually, I don't want to see any minerals. They want to be bone dry.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what lies within. Hopefully not rusty components.
Looks pretty good in there. Not bad.
Phew, that's a relief. And just like that, we're good to go. Now, there was existing wiring, but some of it was mashed, so to be on the safe side, I got another wiring kit. I'm wired to the car. The boot light I'll remove and tap into for the LEDs I previously fitted. This is a simple one. Using some crimp-on spade connectors and some heat shrink. On the other end, some male jack adapters. Now is a good time to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll put my heart into every video and I really want to make a go of this. Thank you. Hammering this lot home. Tight fit means no vibrations. That fascia can go in and then the sub comes in from behind. Floor panels. I cut the big piece to match the design for this recessed section.
Gonna do something with this, watch me now.
Now this is an old speaker that's had good use. It's never gonna look perfect, but it fits the theme. And I just wanna make it tie in with the car a little more. I bet you ain't seen many people bodywork a sub before. The principle's the same though. Scuff, adhesion promoter, base coat, and then clear. Come on, that's way better. And this logo, it's got me thinking. Yeah, let's do it. Ghetto tracing an image I found online. Hey, it ain't stupid if it works. I cut that out and slapped it in the middle of the cone, and then carefully masked around it. That took some time.
Right, yet again, got one of my missus' makeup brushes. She won't miss it. Anyway, let's get painted. I'm brushing it away. Tape.
Caliper paint, cause that's all I had knocking around. Anyway, I'll save that till the end. Something to look forward to. Alright? Now on to soldering the terminal panel for the sub. I find it therapeutic somehow. And now, we screw that in, making sure to use the gasket provided. And the port is a tight friction fit, but we use some glue for backup. Yeah, that ain't moving. Speaker connected and screwed in.
All right, time to turn this lot into something that makes sense.
Trying to keep it neat.
May as well reuse the surf point, but we'll make it a bit better than that. Hold tight. That's a bit better, isn't it?
Nice. Rivnut. LEDs hooked up. Now up front onto this mess.
All right, let's plug up.
These are the phono cables for the sub. Schoolboy error.
We got a problem. You see what's going on here? How am I going to get those ones in? Looks like I better swap the cable around. Ah well, sometimes it doesn't always go the right way. Anyway. There we go. Sorted.
Now this banana shelf can't go back. It stinks and it's bent. Stealth shelf, but nah. Fresh ply with a metal tube bolted to it should prevent any sort of flex. I glued it too. Filled the top side, sanded it, and then covered it in carpet. I also salvaged the straps from the old shelf too. Hey. So here we go.
Let's see what this thing can do. Ooh.
Yeah, that hits the spot.
Check out the animations that I got on this Pioneer throwback.
Remember the dolphins? Tings on Wheels remix, boy. Anyway, enough of that. Time for a montage. Day and night. Yeah, full effect. Oh. And it's period correct. And also stylish. Yeah, flawless. Accent lighting. And that logo is the icing on the cake. Anyway, let's keep it civil. I don't want to annoy the neighbours too much, alright?